all the people that are connecting now should be aware of the opportunities that we have now. And we'll start if you don't mind.
Yes, please, Pak Xavier.
Of
Sorry,
course.
Yes, okay,
Thank you
please.
very much. Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to this webinar on renewable energy. We'll see the opportunities in Indonesia. The webinar is organized by ASEMPEA in collaboration with the Embassy of the Republic of Indonesia in Madrid and, of course, APA Renovables. My name is Javier Muñoz. I'm Director of Communications and Institutional Relations of APA Renovables, which is an association that represents all different technologies of renewable energies in Spain, with more than 500 companies that are members of our associations. We are very pleased to bring together Spanish companies, institutions, and professionals interested in one of the most dynamic and promising markets in Southeast Asia. I should say that you can leave your questions in the corresponding section at the bottom of the screen, and we will try to answer all of them at the end of the presentation. I should say that in Spain, we've become one of the leading renewable energy markets in Europe. More than 55% of our electricity comes from renewables, mainly wind power and solar PV, and also, of course, hydro. This is the first anniversary of the blackout today in Spain. Although renewables were not to blame, we have learned a lot from our success and our mistakes. So I think that this experience will be very useful. We believe that Spain can be a valuable partner for countries such as Indonesia, where renewable energy can play a key role in the economic development of the future. We are very honored to have Mr. Togu Pardede. He is Director of Energy Resources, Mineral and Mining at the Ministry of National Development Planning, BAPENAS. Mr. Pardede has a long and important career in national development planning, regional development, natural resources, mining, and focus on geothermal energy. He has held several senior positions within BAPENAS, and his profile gives him a very comprehensive view of Indonesia's development priorities, energy planning, and the future investment needs that I think that will focus his presentation. Mr. Pardede, I think that you will now give us a first-hand overview of the regulatory framework, the future projects, and the business opportunities for renewable energy companies in Indonesia. Without further delay, thank you very much for being with us today. The floor is yours, or maybe the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you, Pak Javier Munoz. Yes, so now is my turn?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe first of all, also I would like to thank you to the Embassy of Indonesia in Madrid who arranged this meeting ya. Salam kenal Pak, mungkin bisa memperkenalkan juga Pak dari Embassy before saya Pak. So may from the Embassy of Indonesia in Madrid.
Yes Pak.
Yes Pak.
Terima kasih Pak.
Boleh Pak sedikit pengantar Pak.
Baik Pak, mungkin saya bisa kirim ngomong sebentar Pak ya, izin sebelum mulai. So Mr. Javier, if you please allow me to introduce ourselves and send a couple of notes about this. Thank you Pak Javier. So Pak Teguh, good morning in Spain and good afternoon in Indonesia. So on behalf of the Embassy of Republic of Indonesia in Madrid, we would like to convey warm greetings and also best regards from our ambassador, Mr. Najib. First, please allow us to express our sincere appreciation to our host, ASEMPEA and APPA Renewables, for organizing this important webinar. So this platform is fundamental to connect stakeholders and unlock real opportunities in renewable energy. So we would also like to extend our sincere gratitude to Bapak Togu, the Director of Energy, Mineral Resources and Mining of Bappenas, for sharing valuable insights on Indonesia renewable energy landscape. So your perspective here will be highly important for potential partners and investors. And señoras y señores, in España, Indonesia is moving towards a greener future energy. With huge renewable resources and strong government commitment, Indonesia offers investment opportunities across solar, wind, hydro, and other clean energy sectors. Spain's expertise in renewable energy makes it a natural partner for Indonesia. And we see strong potential for collaboration that is both strategic and also commercially attractive. In this context, we are pleased to invite you to join our upcoming business mission to Indonesia from the 2nd to 6th of June in Jakarta, Ibu Kota Nusantara, and also in Balikpapan. This mission will provide direct access to key decision makers, including meetings with Bappenas as well, Danantara, Ibu Kota Nusantara, and Balikpapan Port Authority. More importantly, this is a huge opportunity for you to explore projects, build partnerships, and identify potential investments. We warmly encourage you to participate in this mission and be part of Indonesia's energy transition journey. Señoras y señores, we believe that today's discussion is not just about ideas, but about turning opportunities to real collaboration. So we thank you and we look forward to welcoming you to Indonesia. So thank you, Pak Javier, Pak Togu, for your time. Please, the screen is yours. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Pak. Maaf, Pak siapa, Pak?
Saya Nyoman, Pak. Samping saya Mbak Tatia.
Mbak Tatia, ya.
Kami di fungsi ekonomi, Pak.
Oke.
Salam hangat dari Pak Dubes, Pak Togu.
Siap. Thank you. Thank you, Pak Nyoman. Selamat pagi bahasa Bali jadi lupa saya. Rahajeng Semeng. Rahajeng Semeng. So we have Pak Nyoman is from Bali province. So we have a Bali language for the good morning. It's Rahajeng Semeng. So when you come to Indonesia next June, you can come to Bali and then you can say Rahajeng Semeng. Good morning. So okay, let me start my presentation. So of course, on behalf of the Ministry of National Development Planning, we also glad to have a chance to present about the vision, innovation, investment, and collaboration opportunity for the energy sector mainly. Okay, so my title of this presentation is Modernizing Indonesian Energy Sector for Sustainable Growth. Okay, next slide.
I guess that you're mute, Togu.
Yeah. Okay, first I want to mention about our National Long-Term Development Plan. This is enacted by law number 59, 2025. Sorry, we have a law for our long-term development plan 2025 in 2045. So in this plan, we have a vision for our Indonesia Emas 2045. Indonesia Emas is we call a golden Indonesia. So in the 2045, we are 100 year of age, yeah, our independence in 100 years. It's we have a 8 mission development and 17 direction and 45 key indicator development. So I will not explain about that, but we have a 4-5 super priority transformation effort. So we have mainly we call a social transformation, and then economic transformation, and also the governance transformation. So we have programs to achieve this transformation, the social, economic, and the governance. But we also have the foundation of the transformation. That is the rule of law, stability, and leadership. And then the other foundation for transformation is social, cultural, and ecological resilience. And then for the energy sector, we have a direction to for the green economic policy based on the implementation of low carbon development. And then we have two main strategy, improving energy efficiency and accelerating the energy. And three, and the third is energy transition. So we have three direction policy. And then from the three direct, kembali ke halaman dulu. So on the three important direction is improving energy efficiency, accelerating the energy, and just energy transition. We make a 5-year plan to implement that. Next. So the first phase in 5 years plan in 2025-2029, and the second phase 2030-2034, and then until 2045. So in the energy planning for Indonesian Emas 2045, in the phase 1, we are preparing the foundation for the energy transition through regulation, control of CFPP. CFPP is what is CFPP, and then development of renewable energy, and then expansion of infrastructure. So in the second phase, 2030-2024, we start to retirement of the coal, CFPP. CFPP is coal something like plan. Coal fire power plant. And then in this phase, 2030-2034, we hope we can build our first nuclear power plant, PLTN. We have planned under the government regulation. We have a government regulation number in 2025 that we will have operate the nuclear plant 0.5 gigawatt in 2032, and then in 2040, 7 gigawatt for the nuclear plant. And then in this phase also we strengthening the low carbon hydrogen and ammonia. And in the third phase, we also, of course, increasing nuclear power plant that I mentioned in 2040 is around 7 gigawatt. And then in the stage 4, also widespread the use of hydrogen and also ocean energy. So this is our portion of new renewable energy from 20% in 2025 to 70% 2044. And we have also energy security index plan. Next. This is also very important approach or strategy in our development plan. So this is our President Prabowo in our 5 years plan. He mentioned about our three trident or three important goals for the development. We said that every project should get result on the three kind of objective. First, poverty reduction. We have a plan for the zero poverty reduction in 2029, and then also the second one, improving human resource capacity quality, and then we accepted the sustainable economic growth 8%. So this is the three important: poverty reduction to zero, and human capacity, and also economic growth in 8% growth. This is our target in 5 years. Next. Okay, so yeah, in line with our President Directive, economic growth 8%, this is higher economic growth will accelerate Indonesia, escape from middle income trap. So this is the target, 8%, and then we have also the target for poverty reduction, high quality human resource, and economic growth. This is all the indicator of that one, the Trisula Pembangunan, the Trident development. Okay, next. Next slide. So this is in a 5 years plan, in the President Prabowo plan, 5 years, related to the energy. So in the 5 years development plan, in the energy plan, we face the several issues. It's like declining fossil energy, reserve to production, and also oil and gas import have been increasing, and low access to natural gas network for household, and energy buffer reserve not yet available in our country, and renewable energy utilization is very low compared to the available potential, and abundant bioethanol raw material, low capacity in bioethanol industry, and the energy sector remains the largest contribution emission. From these issues challenge, we have main goals like these goals: energy security, primary index, energy, final energy, renewable energy mix, and primary energy intensity. So we have intervention highlight for the 5 years development. First, our priority is increasing energy supply. The second priority is expanding access and coverage of energy services. And the third priority is strengthening the implementation of just energy transition. So from these three priority, we have several, we call PSN, Project Strategic National Plan. So for example, this is the PSN or the Project National Plan. Sorry, PSN is Strategic Project National Strategic Project. There is a hydropower, PLTA, bioethanol, biorefinery, so RDMP, rescoping development master plan of the oil in Balongan, in Kalimantan also, development of new gas area, and then also refinery Tuban oil. This is very big project, yeah. Not only oil production, but also petrochemical So now we are still challenge issue on the funding. So many funding from Russia, China, and then Russia, China, America, but we still decided them. And then biofuel, North Hub Development Project, biorefinery, and urban gas network. So now we have a PSN or Strategic National Plan is around more than 200. And then now our office, Bappenas or Ministry of Planning, have a new mandate from the President to prepare the project strategic national, and then to evaluate the implementation. Okay, next. We have also, this is a slide for the plan of nuclear and also for the hydrogen utilization plan. Next. And this is about biofuel. We are advancing biodiesel, bioethanol, bioafter, and sustainable aviation fuel. This requires sustainable feedstock, supportive incentive, and strong infrastructure to ensure long-term resilience. Okay, next slide. This is related to the new and renewable energy. So we have planned according to RUPTL. RUPTL is a general planning for the electrical into 70 gigawatt in 2034. So this is and then 42.6 is from renewable energy, and 10 gigawatt is of storage. Okay, next. This is about okay, so we have also from the President directive mandate, we have a project of the rural electrification program in the 5 years plan. Around 780,000 households in all villages will gain access to electricity by 2029, ensuring no community left behind. So this program is not only one responsibility of one ministry, but also we try to make a responsibility for several ministry to get this happen. Okay, next slide. We have also, now this is also President directive for 100 gigawatt solar initiative. This is represent a transformative effort to scale up the renewable energy deployment and deliver clean, affordable electricity across Indonesia, particularly in rural areas. So if you know, we have also project of the Koperasi Merah Putih, apa itu? New project for small enterprise in the rural, we call Koperasi, and then the government give money to this Koperasi. We have 80,000 villages, and then we try to develop around 30 gigawatt by 2029. This is a very also big project to electrify all the rurals in Indonesia. I think you can look at this data about the phase 1 is 59 gigawatt until 2029, and the phase 2 is 36 until 2035. Because now we dependent on the diesel power plant and also fuel imports. And then that's why this project is very important, because we have a more reliable and affordable electricity, and also we can boost the rural economy, and yeah, many potential for jobs, for 100,000 jobs, investment needed 1,000 trillion rupiah. So the strategy is solar PV development, strengthening domestic solar industry, and innovative financing. Okay, next. And this is CCS and CCUS, the carbonizing industry. This project being developed to address emission from oil, gas, and other hard-to-abate sectors, with 15 projects already identified. So we can see here in the blue color several projects of the CCS and CCUS. There are study and preparation states, yeah, most of which are targeted to be on stream by 2030. Next. Now, this is also important for Indonesia about the energy efficiency. It's very potential for the industry, commercial, transport, and also residential sector to reduce operating costs, lower greenhouse gas, and enhance environmental sustainability and competitiveness. The implementation emphasizes on the managerial and systemic approach, and including energy audit, efficiency standard, online reporting, capacity building for energy managers, and particularly in the industrial and commercial sectors. So we can see here the target a potential saving, yeah, by industry, commercial, transportation, and residential. Okay, next. Ini apa nih? Blue book. Oh, okay. So this is about the investment opportunity. So I think the stronger global decarbonization commitment and rising demand for clean energy are creating major investment opportunity in the power sector. The focus spans not only new generation capacity, but also transmission and grid strengthening to support reliable energy. Next slide. Okay, this is the list of the Blue Book 2025-2029. Blue Book is dibuat Bapak apa? A planning document by our minister. It's a list of the foreign loan plan, the plan for foreign loans. So we have a book we call Blue Book. So we can see the list of the midterm foreign loan plans. It's a 5 years planning document containing a list of national priority projects proposed by ministries, agency, and local governments, a need for foreign loan financing. So this is the result of the rigorous selection process to ensure project align with development project. So there are 10 projects in energy sector. So we can see here the indicator of the budget and the who in charge of this project. And then, of course, we invite all the investor or the to implement this. So there are the 10 project is Barrio Refinery in Cilacap, Barrio Refinery in Sumatra, Lumut Bale Geothermal Plant, Lumut Bale 4 Geothermal Plant, and Lahendong Unit 7 and 8 Geothermal Plant. It is in the Pertamina. Pertamina is our national gas company, oil and gas. And then number 7 is also geothermal power plant, hydroelectric power plant, and then Matenggang hydro power plant, and POCO power plant. This is by PLN. PLN is our national electric company. So there are, this is the list of the project. Okay, next. Nah, this is that I mentioned before. We have, we call the national strategic project, which is prepared by our ministry. So in 2026, we have a 10 PSN, Project Strategic National. The electricity infrastructure program, and we also have a sustainable industrial program based renewable energy, which is solar. So we developed the industrial zone with the energy from renewable from solar. So in Rio Island, near to Singapore. So there are plans that we will export the clean energy to Singapore, because Singapore need a lot of clean energy. So number 3, the Kayan hydropower plant, and also a hydropower plant in Mentarang, and solar plant floating, especially in Krenceng and Trembesi, and huge bioethanol from the POME, from the POME itu apa? Sawit apa itu, coconut, sorry, apa itu namanya? Palm. And then also number 8, mineral extracting from geothermal fluids to form the lithium and silica, and then biorefinery Cilacap and Sumatra. So yeah, okay, next. Okay, I think this is my last presentation. So of course, nomor 17 ya. Of course, we need enabling for this our development plan, especially in energy sector. So the four enabler we call technology and innovation. We need, of course, and technology and innovation. I think from the Spain or developed country, advanced technology is very important. And also we need the innovative funding, a strong and affordable alternative funding, and the capacity and skill development to increase our human resource and workforce towards green jobs. And also I think the strong collaboration across for cross country and also international support to accelerating the transition to modern and green energy. I think that's all my presentation. Thank you and welcome for maybe you have a question. Thank you, Pak.
Thank you very much for the presentation. It was very clear and useful, and I think that it helped us understand better Indonesia's energy plans. I think that some of the figures that you have talked about are incredible. They are huge for our standards. Of course, Indonesia has a very important population compared to Spain. There are some questions. I have some on my own also, but we will start with the ones that are in the chat. Sorry. First of all, which are the key aspects of foreign access to Indonesia energy sector? The question is from Antonio Viñal.
Which one?
Key aspects of foreign access to Indonesia energy sector. How companies can start working with Indonesia energy sector. Mr. Yeah, okay.
Okay, yes. Okay, so first of all, we have a ministry to or in charge in energy. That is Ministry of Energy Sector, the energy and mineral, yeah. So yeah, the company also can have a can have a meeting, yeah, with them, and of course also with Bapenas, because our ministry, because we have several project strategic national that we need to have, especially, yeah, we need to have some private company to also to implement that project. And then yeah, you can come to especially to Bapenas and to Ministry of Energy Resource, and then it's depend on the which project, and then we can help you to direct you, yeah, to whom you can visit based on the project. So yeah.
Perfect.
And
Maybe
then,
there is some contact that companies can use, like a specific person or email to contact with them,
gimana?
or maybe through the embassy. It could be a
Yeah,
possibility.
I think to embassy is very also good, and then yeah, through embassy is better.
Perfect. There are two other questions. Are all the Blue Book projects open to international collaboration?
Yes, of course, open,
Okay,
Pak. So you can see all the Blue Book document in detail. I think we can share the link. Ada ya?
perfect.
Oh,
And
sorry, there is a link in this year. So the book is published every years.
perfect. Yearly. There is a question from Roberto Fernandez. He asks if there is a specific plan for solar plants combined with batteries, like hybrid. I think that this is a specific question because we are facing some problems in Spain because we have developed a lot solar PV in the past, and now we are experiencing some unbalanced prices in the market price because we have a lot of solar PV generation during the day, and maybe there is a specific plan, as Roberto is asking, that combines solar PV plants with battery energy storage.
Yes. I mentioned that we have a RUPTL. It's a master plan for the electrification national. So in the RUPTL, we can see the list of a project, maybe 1,000 project on the electric, and of course, including the solars and BESS. So this RUPTL is made by PLN, our electrical national company. And then I think the perm also from PLN. So from the list, there is very clear, yeah, about how many gigawatt solar BSS in which area, and the target, and all the status, and also, yeah. So I think from the RUPTL, and then you can also come to discuss with PLN, and then also to get the permit and etc.
Thank you very much. I have another question, but I've seen that one question has already came. I haven't seen much about offshore wind energy, and we would like to know if it's already underway or not yet planned. It's a question from Asterio Recio. Yeah, and he's asking also for contact information.
Yeah, I think we still have a pilot project on the wind energy, yeah, in Jeneponto in Sulawesi, but still in the scale of pilot. So we haven't have a plan for the large scale plan, but we have a potential area for wind and for solar, and also actually my office, we have a book, a study, yeah, on the energy for based on the characteristic of area in Indonesia, if island or in the eastern Indonesia, in the western Indonesia, and then we also we have a potential renewable energy in every area in Indonesia. And one more, we also have a study on to optimize the apa waduk itu. We have a reservoir for hydro plant, and then we have from the reservoir plant, hydro plant, we can also put the solar. Especially in Java Island, we have so many hydro plant, dam, ya, big dam, ya, and then we can have a study to optimize the dam to put the solar on the dam. So because we have so many dam, and then by the potential to build the solar there.
Okay. Floating solar, very, very interesting. And as Asterio has talked about, offshore wind is something that we are facing to develop in Spain, but we are facing some problems because also wind in the coast of Spain should be floating wind power plants. That it's much more difficult than with foundation. Well,
Yeah, but I heard that Korean Energy, yeah, they have a high technology, not with the apa itu baling-baling vertical wind plant, not the turbine, vertical turbine, not with the, yeah. So yeah, still the Korean try to propose that technology to us also, the vertical turbine without baling-baling apa itu? without what is it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. There is another one question of Roberto. He's asking if there is an association of renewables in Indonesia like APA. If there is not, I volunteer to go to Indonesia and found the association. I think that it will be a very interesting adventure. Well, he's asking about an association for renewables in Indonesia, mainly to understand and to know all the public data that are about terrain, about solar radiation, and about the different permitting that you need in environmental sector.
Yeah, Yeah, we call Masyarakat Energi Terbarukan Indonesia, Indonesian Renewable Energy Society. It's like industrial company or all stakeholder have a forum like that. And then we also have an institution for research, for renewable research. They call EISR. And then we also have an association of the IPP, electrical. So individual provider electrical, Indonesia. So yeah, it's a private, not like PLN national company, but individual private company providing the electric. That's a APLSI. So this is also important association.
Okay. I put one in the chat. I don't know if this is the renewable society that you have mentioned. Maybe this one. And if there is not another question, I have to ask because we have been facing problems with the grid, with transmission. Because we have developed very fast the generation part of the system. We have developed a lot of wind power, a lot of solar power, and grid connection is very, very important for renewable projects and also for the new demand of the industry. How is Indonesia planning to improve the electricity grid, especially facing that you have a lot of islands?
Can you repeat, Xavier? Because
Yes.
I'm typing, so I didn't.
Sorry. I was asking about the grid, the electricity grid, because we have developed very fast the solar PV in Spain. We have developed a lot of wind, and we are facing problems to connect the generation with the demand, and also to provide connection for the new demand. So grid connection is very, very important for renewable projects. In Europe, we say there is no transition without transmission. How is Indonesia planning to improve the electricity grid, especially between the different islands or among the different islands that you have?
Yes, I think for the grid system, smart grid, and etc., there is also in the RUPTL. This is also to developing smart grid. There is in the RUPTL document. Yeah.
Okay.
So PLN already planned to develop the smart grid and that grid system. Ada tambahan?
There are the links to the association. Thank you very much. Well, if there is not another question, we will wait only a minute. If there is not, thank you, of course, Mr. Pardede. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you also for the participants for joining us today. We hope that this session has been useful. And from the embassy part, we will ask them for a contact for all the companies that want to start thinking about investing in Indonesia. I think that you have a very ambitious plan ahead. I think that every country in the world is facing this transition, and it will be great to see this new world that we are trying to build.
So I'm a question. What about the SMR technology in Spain? Do you have a nuclear technology?
SMR?
Yes.
Specifically?
Yeah,
The small nuclear.
yeah, the small module nuclear.
Yes,
You also
we are not planning to have new nuclear reactors in Spain. What we have now is a problem because we have more generation than demand, and that is bringing the prices down. We have a lot of 0 euros hours along the day. We have negative prices also because we have a surplus of electricity generated by renewables, more than we can consume and more than we can transport to the rest of Europe. So we are now facing more than a lot of surplus. We've got a lot of problems with that, not only for the transmission grid, but also with the market prices. That's the reason we were asking about the need to implement power and implement new electricity generation by renewables with the demand. So, for example, in Spain, in the last 5 years, we have installed more or less 35, more than 35 gigawatts of solar PV. And that's the peak consumption in Spain. So we are not building nuclear reactors at the moment.
Okay, so yes, and then actually we are the #1 nickel production in the world, and then I think very potential opportunity to downstreaming the nickel to in Indonesia. We very open for the project, and also about the rare earth or critical minerals. So I think we also a very huge potential rare earth resource, but now we are still try to more explore to identify the potential resource of our rare earth, because rare earth is come from tin and come from the copper and nickel. So it's the waste from the tin and waste from the copper. So we still have a lot of waste, and then I think we can also can extract to have the rare earth. So we need the technology to extract that, and also I think the industry for need the rare earth is very big.
Yes, I think that all these sectors are interconnected. The development of energy, of course, comes with the development of mining and a lot of different ways of consumption, at least in our view, in our point of view.
Yeah, okay. So what is the main energy sector in Spain? Gas or nuclear?
Main energy consumption in Spain comes from oil. It's more or less 50%. But the problem is that we don't have oil and we don't have gas. So as we don't have oil and we don't have gas, we have to import every barrel of oil. We don't have nothing, completely zero. And one of the main efforts that we are facing now in Spain is the electrification, that is going from the fossil consumption to electricity consumption, because as I have said before, we have a surplus of electricity generation. So we have more electricity than we need, but we don't have anything of oil and gas or fossil fuels. So electrification will be a very important part of our mission for the next decade. The next 10 years, it will be very important for us, electrification, going to change the mobility from the combustion engine vehicle to electric vehicle, for example. And of course, we will need a heat pump to cover our heating and cooling needs.
Okay.
But that was a goal 10 years ago, and still the percentages are the same. We haven't gone very far. We have gone very far in electricity generation with renewables, maybe coming from 20% to 55%. But now the electricity in Spain is more or less the 25% of the energy consumption is electricity. It was exactly the same 10 years ago. And it's the same with oil. Oil was more or less 50% of energy. And now, 10 years later, is exactly the same, 50% more or less.
Okay. Yes. Actually, Indonesia, we still have a potential, gas, also oil, in the several part of Indonesia, especially in Aceh and in the eastern part in Papua. So I think we still need like Repsol to come again to Indonesia for the oil or gas in,
That will be great.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Pak Javier Munoz, thank you.
Thank
Gracias.
you, Togu. Mr. Padre, thank you very much for your presentation and for all the information.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pak
Bye.
Togu. Thank you so much, Pak Javier.
So how many will come to Indonesia? How many company?
We have some. We have sent letter, Pak. We will talk to you later about this. So perhaps we will meet again in Indonesia, Pak. Thank you so much, Pak.
Siap. Bawain kaos Barcelona ya. Jangan Madrid ya.
Siap, Pak. Siap.
Makasih. Oke, thank you.
Bye-bye.